Welcome to today's first look, everyone. The sun is shining. The people next door have, of course, decided to start drilling and sawing things as they build the extension on their house while I record this, and no doubt my dog will bark at some point. But we will not be deterred from finding out what's happening tonight. Looks like it could be interesting. Here we go. Following the events of Monday night, Toni and Emily are catching up while Connor watches from across the villa. Keen to be honest, Emily shares with Toni last night Connor, mentioned going to the hideaway, but I said no because I respect how you've been throughout the whole situation. Toni says, thank you. I'm not stupid, I can tell you get along, but I want to hear it from him. I'm not going to fake tears that I don't have left to cry. I've got to say, I thought the way Connor treated Toni last night was really rubbish. That conversation he had with her, he was so non-committal. He didn't seem to be man enough to say, look, you're nice enough, Toni, but I prefer Emily. And I think that's what Toni needed to hear so she can move on. You know, stop being indecisive and going, well, I kind of like both of you.
And I can see that.
Yeah, I haven't even made up my mind, but like you're putting pressure on me to make.
I'm not putting pressure on you to make a decision.
It's not that you're putting pressure on me, but like if it was the other way around, I'd be like, here, tell me what's crack. It's like,
yeah, I just don't want to sit around and wait.
Yeah, and I don't want for you to waste your time in here.
But no woman's going to settle for that. Well, that's what I've been told. Although the way Dijon and Harry, I mean, them and their orgies and twosome's normal, yes, threesomes, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, well, maybe they don't. I don't know. I get very confused when these Love Islanders tell about their sexual escapades. I'm like, wow, you guys have done some stuff. Emily makes it clear that she wouldn't want to hurt Toni, telling her, I think the world of you. You'll have your man, you will. Toni then pulls Connor for a chat, keen to get this all nipped in the bud between them once and for all, telling him, I don't want you two to have to keep talking to me. So I think I get the hint. You're getting along with Emily. She told me mentions of the hideaway. I wish that came from you and not her. Connor concedes, I probably should have said that to you, but I didn't really know how to go about it, like. That's how he talks, isn't it? Don't worry, I've got Irish relatives, I can make fun of them. Or can I? Who knows? Meanwhile, Alima has some thoughts on Ramel and yesterday's challenge, telling him, I think you were so disrespectful, I'm not going to lie. Do you feel like you did everything right? The conversation continues as they go back and forth over the challenge. Alima adds, you say you like me and do things that just don't match. It's worse, you can't even take accountability. Maybe we're not compatible. Malaysia pulls Meg for a chat in the snug, and they pinky promise no more arguments. Malaysia asks Meg, I just want to know, what has he told you about me speaking to him? Meg says, he hasn't said much, to be honest. Keen to get things cleared up, Meg calls Dijon over from the kitchen, but not before Yasmin has a flirty proposition for him. Dijon has just complimented both her and Toni's outfits, and Yasmin asks, would you ever have a threesome with me and Toni? A stunned Dijon almost spits out his drink, as Toni is also completely caught off guard. Yasmin laughs it off as intrusive thoughts, as Dijon swiftly takes the opportunity to join Meg and Malaysia for a chat. Meg says it's hard work being in a three-way triangle because we're just going to keep clashing heads. You need to be transparent with the both of us. Okay, so decision time for Dijon, and he's going to have to choose. Now, last night during that whole heated argument between Tommy and Shay, there was that moment where, you know, he was talking about Malaysia, wasn't he? And he said, oh yeah, I was going to tell Meg I was attracted to her tonight. But he didn't do that. He had a conversation with Meg that was a nothing burger. It went nowhere. So I'm glad tonight he'll have to pin his colours to the mast. Same with Connor, he's going to have to do the same. Although I feel like Toni's taking the initiative there and being very nice to Connor and basically saying, look, I'll tell you what you were probably going to tell me, which is, it's over. A threesome. I feel like Yasmin is being a bit of a try-hard here. Yasmin's constantly going on about how fantastic and wonderful and beautiful and sexy she is. And I feel like she's just making that comment about a threesome to Dijon. You know, would you and Toni like to have a threesome with me? I think she's just doing that to get attention, because I don't really think she means it. It's kind of embarrassing as well. And the truth of the matter is that I'm sure Dijon would. I definitely know Harry would. But clearly you can't build a relationship on that kind of foundation, can you? Or maybe you can. What do I know? The next morning, Tommy, Shay and Megan catch up after last night got heated over some of the boys' challenge antics. But can they put their differences aside and move on? Later that afternoon, Connor gets a text which reads, Islanders, Tonight there'll be a recoupling in which the boys will choose which girl they want to couple up with. Hashtag decision time. Hashtag she's the one. With some boys clear on their choice and others questioning things, they chat about preparing their speeches as they get ready for the evening. Later on, it's time for the boys to recouple with the islanders gathered at the fire pit. With a few heads scrambled after an eventful couple of days in the villa, some of the girls are unsure what lies ahead for them. And the fire pit is a busy one, as there's another surprise text in store, with news of the arrival of Harrison. What does this mean for the islanders and their decisions? As the couples get ready to meet the newest bombshell, Harrison, he's keen to get in there. I'm buzzing to go in. There's lots of girls in there that are my type. It could get a little busy, honestly. Speaking about how he feels about potentially splitting up a couple, the Derby native says, that's what I have to do. I'm not here to make friends. If the girl is for me, I'm going to grab that. That's no issue. I'm in there for myself at the end of the day. Okay, so we have our new bombshell coming in. You know that already if you watched my video earlier. And something I forgot to mention, guys, in that video was Harrison has American connections. He seems to have played sport for New Hampshire, which of course is in America. He went to university, I think, in Florida. So it could be that him and Toni hit it off because of the similarities in culture. But again, I think there could be a dumping tonight. There'll be a recoupling, but they may not finish it all in one episode. And I am concerned, as I said, that Toni is vulnerable because she's not going to be with a man. Who do you think the boys are going to choose? You see, really now it's crunch time, isn't it, for Dijon? Is he going to choose Melisha or is he going to choose Meg? And of course, crunch time for Connor, although I don't think that'll be a shock to anyone that he picks Emily. And Shay. You see, what if Shay gets to pick before Tommy? Maybe then he could pick Meg. Who knows? And that conversation between the two of them, how is that resolved? They'll probably just say sorry. Although, quite frankly, I got so heated last night, I would keep my distance from Tommy if I was Shay for quite a while. Because even though I feel like Tommy had the right to be slightly angry, I don't think it needed to get as rude as all that, did it? Come on, chaps! Let's keep it civil. Let's be polite and British about it, and all that kind of thing. Anyway, please write your thoughts and queries below, and I will respond to one of them. Maybe the thoughts, maybe the queries. Who knows? That's the mystery.